Hi everyone. Would you like to see what I've been up to? I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I am back to share with you some updates and progress on my projects. So if you'd like to see the progress that I have made, then please, by all means, stay tuned and just get prepared to hang out with me for a bit, okay? Hold on for a moment. Hi everyone. Welcome to Mindful Crafts and More. I'm Katrina. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. Take a look at this video or any of my other videos. And if you find yourself inspired, join my channel. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. So, hi everyone. It is now December, and while it has been a while that I have been here sharing with you, I am back to share with you the updates on the projects that I have been working on and some other things to share as well. All right. So, I have been working on a beautiful Crazy 8 faux swag sweater that was designed by Jay over at Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And this was prompted by the beautiful Setta over at Setta's Place. She contacted me and asked me if I would like to work on the project as a knit along. And I saw it and thought, wow, that is just so beautiful. Yes, I'd like to try it out. And I have not regretted it at all. It is a beautiful pattern that Jay has come up with, and it's a nice lacy design, and it's not a complete sweater, it's a faux swag sweater. And I think that that's a wonderful way to kind of introduce you to the world of knitting a sweater, all right? Because it will work up a lot faster than a complete one. All right. And you can use it for so many different things. All right. So let's take a look and see the progress that I have made on that here. All right, isn't it beautiful? I really do love it. And I had a bonus because, in addition to the sweater, I also decided to go ahead after practicing the beautiful design. I wanted to go ahead and do something else with it. So I started a scarf and also shared that with you guys. So let's take a look at the progress that I have made on my scarf here. All right, so isn't it beautiful? All right, so I'm going to start with the scarf and kind of show that to you in real time. So let me grab it. Hold on for a second. All right, I am back. So again, I started working on the pattern to just practice the pattern that is the star of the show, which is the Crazy Eight design. And in doing that, I thought, I want to do something with the design because in making up the swatch, you get a nice, beautiful, wide piece. And I thought maybe I could go ahead and use it to make a scarf. So I grabbed a thinner weight yarn and grabbed smaller needles to work on it, knowing that it's going to be a little bit thinner. And I thought it would work up to be a beautiful scarf. All right, so now in doing that, I had to decide the design that I was going to make for the scarf. All right, if I was just going to make it exactly the way the faux swag sweater design is, or what I was going to do with it. So after starting on it, and getting prepared to do the main portion of it, I had options. I could have just continued to do the Crazy 8 design all the way through, or I could go ahead and add some other features into it to give it some texture or to just make it a little faster or whatever the case may be. So I did a swatch and just kind of practice some stitches just to see what I would be happy with. All right, so here is my swatch. All right, this is not exactly the same yarn, right? But it is enough for me to see what I would like. All right, so I started out with a 1 by 1 rib, and that is the same thing that you do with the faux swag sweater. And then once you get the 1 by 1 rib, then you go ahead and you're doing a garter stitch border with a stockinette background, and that's what we have here. Now, my next thing is, did I want to just continue to do that, or did I want to do something else? So I thought, well, maybe I could do a lacy kind of design or a different variation of a ribbing. And so I tried this, which is a different kind of ribbing, to give it a little bit more openness And this one is using a one by one, and actually it's a two by two. And in doing it though, you are doing a knit in the back loop, and then you are doing a purl instead of knit, knit, purl, purl. And so it gives you a different variation on it. Now, I do like it, but I thought it would take away from the beautiful lace design of the Crazy Eight. So I decided not to do that. But I'm going to keep the swatch because I may want to use this and incorporate this in something else at a future time. And at least I have an idea of what it would look like. Now, you should always try to do some type of a little swatch so that you can see what your piece might look like and to get an idea if it's something that you will like, especially if it's a long range project that's going to take you a while to do. So I would encourage it, and I know it does take time to do, but I would encourage it for you to consider doing a swatch. Okay. All right. So that's my swatch. And from that, I kind of decided how I wanted to do it. All right. So I've shown you the photo of my progress on my scarf. So now let's take a look at the actual scarf. Okay, so the scarf is here. I started out with my one by one rib. And again, this is a three-weight yarn. This is Mandala Sparkle. So it is a three-weight yarn. And then I went ahead and did the beautiful Crazy Eight design here, which is the lace with either side being garter stitch. And I went ahead and added as many of the design repeats as I thought I needed, and then decided to just go ahead and just do with a simple one by one knit rib. And I kept the garter stitch border here. So I guess I could have just done the ribbing without it, but I thought I wanted to keep that for continuity, and I'm liking the way it is working up. All right. So now this, if I take it and I put it right here at the top of my shoulder, this actually will go down to my hip. So it's a nice length. And I'm going to maybe do a little bit more to just get it to go to my neck. And then that'll be about halfway there. And then I'll know exactly how many rows I need to do before I go back to doing the beautiful Crazy Eight design for the other half. All right. So I'm maybe about a third of the way done with it here. All right. So I'm going to keep working on it, and I will share it with you either as I complete it or as I am working on it in the progress, depending on what my time is as I'm doing the project. Okay. All right. So now, next, let's take a look at my beautiful sweater. Okay. So hold on for a moment. Let me grab it. All right. So I am back and I am getting really thirsty. So I'm going to grab some tea. So hold on for a minute. All right. I had to get something to drink. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm staying hydrated. As the winter gets colder, hydration is really, really important because the colder air can sometimes dry you out, dry your skin out, and everything, just like the warm weather can. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting my liquid in, and that is actually a herbal tea. So I do what I can to stay hydrated, and please, by all means, you guys, please do the same. Okay. All right. So I have the beautiful sweater, and let's take a look at it. It is just awesome. And here it is here. All right. So I started out again with a one by one rib and then started working on the beautiful design and doing my repeats. All right. And I did quite a few repeats because I really wanted it to be a decent length, and that is for my height. Okay. All right. So now if I hold this up to my shoulder, once again, it does reach um, to about to the hip. Okay. And I am very pleased with that. So I am now ready to start working on the neck portion of it, and then ready to then start with the sleeves after I get that done. So I am really enjoying it. The fabric has a wonderful drape. And so I am very, very pleased with this project. And I want to say thank you so much to Setta over at Setta's Place for recommending me to work on this knit along, as well as the beautiful Jay over at Jay's Knit and Purl Jam for the awesome inspiration and design. It's a beautiful design. And if you haven't seen it yet, please go over and check it out. And if you have some knowledge of knitting, please go ahead and try to check it out. I think maybe about 3 cakes of the Mandela ombre yarn will work, or any worsted weight yarn will work. You just have to make sure you have enough yards or meters of it. Okay, so the Mandela, sorry about that. The Mandela has, let's see, about 315 meters or 344 yards, okay? And then you multiply that by three at least, and that should be enough. Now, if you have enough and you have four, that's great. Or if you just have something that's a large amount and it works up to be about this, then that would be great as well, okay? So this is mine, and this is the colorway, and I love it. I love the way it's working up, all right? I am back. So I'd like to share with you progress that I have made on the beanies that I had shared with you in previous videos. As you recall, if you've seen my videos, I purchased some beautiful yarn um, from Premier called Bloom. And I found 3 different skeins of it. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Let me see if I can get it to work up. And I challenged myself to see if I could get at least 4 beanies out of each skein of yarn. Now, each skein, I have one here, the band. Each skein had approximately 218 yards or 200 meters, and that was about 200 grams. And so as I started to work up the beanies, I saw that I was getting on average about 50 grams per beanie. And I thought, okay, then that's possible that I might be able to get 4 beanies. All right, so that's how the challenge started. And I want to share with you what I did. So count along with me and see how they all worked up. All right, so here we go. Here's one here. And in this one, I did a garter stitch brim. And then I got one of the beautiful pattern repeats in here. Okay, here's another. And this one here, I did a seed stitch brim, and then I got 2 pattern repeats here. Okay. This one here, I did a twisted rib stitch here, and I got 1 pattern repeat. And this one here, I added yarn to the bottom using some hometown yarn that I had taken and separated the plies. And I got 1 pattern repeat here. Okay. So I actually did get 4 beanies out of that particular colorway. All right. So let's look at the next color. Here we go. All right. So here for this one, this was a broken rib that I did here, and I got 1 bloom here. And again, this bloom, when I did it, I had it down within the broken rib section, but I still like the way it turned out, and I love this beanie as well. Next, this is a 1 by 1 rib, okay? And here, what I did was I did a little bit of a 1 by 1 just to give a little bit of texture here. And I like the way that one came out as well. So it kind of defines this section here, all right? Here is a 2 by 1, 2 by 1 rib. And then here I added a little bit of a garter stitch um, kind of section here to kind of demarcate the ribbing versus the body of the hat. And then we have 1 repeat here. And then here is a seed stitch. All right. And we have only 1 repeat here. But again, they all turned out great, and I love the way they are. Now, that was the second skein. All right, so let's see if I did it with the third skein. Here we go. All right, so this one is a 1 by 1 and it is a smaller beanie. So this is more for like a teen size hat. This one here is a 1 by 1. Yep, okay. And we got one bloom here. This one here is a 2 by 2. And this one was a rolled. Okay. So I actually did it, you all. I made 12 hats using just 3 skeins of yarn. And I think that is just awesome. All right. So if you are mindful of how you work them up, then you can find a way to do it. Now, I really did have to pay attention to number of stitches that I was using and make sure that my tension was okay, that I wasn't too loose to use extra yarn when I didn't intend to, and those types of things. It wasn't too stressful to do, and it was actually fun to kind of challenge myself to see if I could do it. So I'm so happy that I actually was able to, and I met the challenge and reached the goal. I was able to do the 12 hats. All right. So, have you ever challenged yourself to do something like that, whether it be to, see if you could get a whole ensemble out of a skein of yarn, or if you could just make an item using just one skein and come up with something. Have you ever done that before? And if so, what was it? I'd like to hear about it in the comment section below. So please let me know. All right. Now, if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And go ahead also and subscribe to Setta over at Setta's Place, as well as Jay over at Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. I'm sure that they would love to hear from you and to just, have you cheer them on with the inspired projects that they are having. All right. So next, what I would like to do is share a puzzle with you. So today, instead of doing the Wordoko puzzles, I would like to share word jumble puzzles. And my reason for doing that is because these puzzles are a little bit easier to do, and you may even be able to do them as you see them. Just put the answers in a comment right as you're watching the video. Okay, so I'm going to share an example of the puzzle so that you can kind of get a feel for how these puzzles are supposed to be worked. All right, so let's take a look at an example here. All right, so as you can see, you're going to get 6 letters, all right? And the 6 letters are jumbled up. Now, there are a lot of possibilities for these puzzles, but at the very least, you're just expected to get at least one 6-letter word, one 5-letter word, one 4-letter word, and one 3-letter word. And if you're able to do that, then it's just really trying to exercise your brain to just try to have you think for a moment and see what you can come up with, right? Sometimes the 6-letter word is pretty hard to do, but it's a lot of fun. And I think that exercising our brain is important. And we have to keep doing that all the time just so that we can stay alert. All right. So that's my reason for sharing the puzzles with you. All right. So I'm going to try to do more videos for the month of December. And like I said, these are a little bit faster. So let's go ahead and try it out. So here is the puzzle for today. All right, so we have our new puzzle, and then when I come back, I will share with you the solution or possible solutions for the puzzle, as well as a new puzzle, and we'll just kind of go from there. And then after this month, when things kind of slow down a little bit more, then we'll go ahead and try to go back to doing the Wordoko puzzles because I really do like those also. All right. What are you all working on? Have you decided to do some projects for this month? The season is almost to an end, and we're going to be in a new season in a very few weeks. So it is going to get colder in many areas. And yeah, a lot of us are preparing for that if it hasn't already gotten colder. All right. So that's all I have for today. I want each and every one of you to do everything you can to be mindful, do everything you can to be at your best health, and by all means, continue to be crafty every day. Share your gifts, be inspiring, and be inspired. I look forward to seeing you in one of your videos or one of mine. Thank you so much. Bye bye.